Alright, so welcome everyone to this new episode of EagleFly, the experimental debugger. And yeah, we are in the middle of debugging our user input, and we probably found what could be, if not a bug, it's just some missing functionality there, because there's something there that we should take into consideration every time we process user input. And there's some things that we should simplify in the way that we process input. So let's go directly to the for coder. And I would like to run msdef so we can see where we left off. Oh, I think I reopened it. So we can see where we left off, and we basically have this animation thing, and we wanna have the possibility to process it. You have the loop-like collating, and we want this loop-like collating to be handled as a control command, And the problem that we have right now is that the control command, I'll specify here. Where is it? It's never been set, So even though we pass it through there, we never get it. So what I like to do is to simplify a little bit more about how we do this and make some usage cases and say some things that I have in mind so that we can handle it. So let's go back to the code, and the first thing that I would like to do is to get this thing back on the processing messages that we had before, so that we don't have this kind of craziness going on. So what I like to do is just to have this thing being passed through the last one. Alright. And this is process Windows messages, which we want. Well, in fact, we don't need this one, but we don't need this one. Alright, so it seems all fine. And if I run this, we should have the same thing, Yep. There you go. So now the first thing that I would like to do is to bypass this thing, where is it? I want to do this, I want to keep this like this, and I want to pass this directly to being processed after everything's processed, something like this, So in that way, and also another thing that I'd like to do to take out this global thing that we had before. What's all this? Oh, okay. But I don't know what. But forget about that. I would like to erase this and to change every place where we had this global input stuff going on, which is right. Alright. And the thing here, we will need the Win32 state now. Well, we can pass it, because why not? So yeah, debug memory block is also not there, so we would like to have which I don't know if we want to pass. Well, we can do this, Win32 state. And probably, where is it? Debug memory block. Yeah, I prefer that way. This. with 32 memory block, debug memory block. There you go. And with 32 start recording, it's right there, so we like to pass it back. All these calls back on top of this. With 32 playing, with 32 stay. Convert element 1 from with 32 stay to with 32 stay. Thank you very much. We have this, and here's where the fun comes out, you know, because what we probably want to do, well, first before doing that I just want to check this out to be thing as before. Since seems no reason why not to do it, so we are just simplifying some stuff here. There you go. Alright. So if we run the code now, we have a simple call to process Windows messages where we process all this stuff. And what I would like to do now is to go to process Windows messages, and I would like, in fact, I would like to call this 132 process calling messages. Well, process Windows, process messages, I guess. Yeah. And what I like to do is, we have this right now, and what I like to do now is to see what happens if we do this right here, you know. Since we know that it's not gonna be reset, and we can have a more certain control about what's going on. We can see what happens here, you know. We're gonna get the input, the VKL, and control keys toggle. Even you can, what we can do here is to move this a little bit here. Here we have the switch right here. It was pressed input VKL. So even what we can do instead of this is just to say something like 132. Well, you know, before doing anything more, I would like to see what happens with this, you know. Yep. 132 stay loops playing, 132 stays recording, everything it's going on. Well, now that I think about it, we'll probably want to do something more like this. If BK how do you do this? It's about raw input data keyboard BK, you know. equal to B key. And the counter key is toggle. You know, let's try to do this in a second step. Well, if I can do it, if I can even try to do this, you know what I mean? And probably, I guess this should go right here. You know, just some of the way that we do it. And the interesting thing here so yeah, probably that's the difference between raw input and Windows messages, is that how can I say, Windows already processes this for us, you know. Windows already has this alt key press or whatever, whereas when it's raw input, it's totally raw data, you know. You have to make sense of it in the way that the Windows, well, yeah, Windows raw input API sends us those messages. So the reason that I put this here is just to see that the thing that we were happening before was not, it's not happening anymore. So let's see what happens if we do this like this. All right, because imagine that I how can I say, yeah, how, my question is, how does raw input handles both keys, you know? Because let's go back to our code, and then we get there. What I would like to see, just for starters, is what happens in our output thing, you know. Do we, alright, we still process keys, yeah. And if I press 2 keys, this is 1E, alright, interesting. So if I go back and I say well, we have 1D, 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 1D. And now we have 25, 25, 25. And then we have 1D, 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 1D. And there's, if you see, there's no 25. It's like if it gets suppressed. So the thing that tells me is that we are not processing the raw input correctly, which means that that's the reason that we cannot handle both inputs at the same time. So yeah, so that's the thing that I was thinking on. If you see, there's no printing of that input. It's just 1D, 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 and that's all. If I go back, if I to go back to raw input, there's a 1D, 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 1D. So what I am assuming, well, I can put, I mean, let me go. Right, stable. Yeah. So this is really interesting. Let me see. Okay. Hmm. Oh, now we understand. So yeah, I mean, raw input is not gonna tell us that. Raw, I mean, we were assuming that raw input was gonna work in this way, but it's not. Because raw input is not catching anything. Windows instead it does. Windows caches out processes, caches all this stuff for us. And we thought that it was the same thing for our input, but it was not. Our input just tells us what's the last input. That's all. So, gee, that's really interesting. If we would like to see, like, hmm, that's cool. That means that we need to do a little bit more to this thing, you know? So it's not like this specifically. But more. So yeah, I mean, I think this is okay, but the only thing that is not okay is this. No, where is it? This. We don't need to do this because that would be uh, throwing all away, you know? Raw input is just gonna give us the raw input, and it's gonna give it us. I mean, let me open Milton so we can see. Uh, Alright. Alright, Milton, please. Man, for real. I want to put it here. So the thing that uh, Milton raw input does is just give us the state for each key, you know? So that means, I mean, even we cannot do this, and the transition, even it would be not consequent at all, you know, because if you see, I mean, if you, well, if we see this, you know, when we process the input, you know, it goes, boom, 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 press, 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 press. It releases, no more input, and then it goes, press, 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 press. It releases, no more input, and then if we say Control and L, this is 26, and this is 1D, this is 26, or 26. What happened? What happened? Oh man. Alright, 1D, release. 1D, 26. You see, that's the way it processes. So we have to cache that state. And the way that we can do that, I mean, this is not too bad, I guess. So what we should do, this is correct because it will always edit control key flags, which is alright. And if not, it will release it. And if how can I say, so if one happens first, so yeah, I mean, that should do it, isn't it? Well, just without the resetting, of course. And what about transition? Well, the transition, I think it's nice for the transition. We don't want to have always transition, you know. So if we say, for example, we have the control and we have the L, and the L we're going to process it as an input, and it's going to continuously going on. Imagine that we do L and then we press control, then there's no more L input, but it's still pressed. There's no transition because we don't know that, you know, it's just press. But we don't know if, so yeah, the problem is instead it was press. Yeah, because I need to write it. Hold me a second. Well, yeah, Mr. Milton, it's good to write. I have to get used to it, but yeah. So we have to basically cache it, you know, because what we have is this and this, you know, and every time we keep it pressed, we're not gonna get it, you know. Imagine that we press L once, you know, and we keep it pressing, so we have a line there, you know, a long line, and then here we press control. So now L is not gonna be anymore there, you know. The transition is gonna reset to 0, and the was press is useless now. We know that it's still pressed because we haven't get release event, which is the event that will tell us that it was released. So we have the console. We're gonna get these messages now. It's down, blah blah blah. So yeah, our model is a little bit erroneous because yeah, we're gonna have it there, button and the down, but the transition count is not gonna work. So yeah, I think it should work in this way because, well, just without the transition can, well, that thing that we weren't doing before. Let's try with that way. And also I would like to not do this, I guess. For a moment, because we have to know when we should do it. Or more evenly. Well, yeah. Oh, it's gonna be 0. And what we're gonna do, instead of doing the thing that we were doing before, and we cannot do this, we have to do if input keyboard data buttons v key L button and it down. You know what I mean? Okay, let's try that way. It's incorrect, I know, but let's see what happens. It's gonna enter every time, So it's gonna happen a lot of times. But since we have the loop is playing or is recording, alright. So we have breakpoint right there. So let's see. Alright. We got it. We have button and it down. And it's toggle. So it's gonna start recording. Okay, that's recording. That's playing. So now we know loop is playing. Oh, uh, we were always correct. The thing that always happens is just that Win32 and playing. Well, the third one was Win32 and playing, and that was all. So every time that you saw that happening, where, I mean, yeah, we still have a problem about not really understanding raw input correctly, but it was going on. I mean, the states and transitions were correct. Yeah. So it's working. It's totally working, man. You see? Oh man, what's going on there? There's a bunch of presents, you know? I mean, yeah, because we have it like that, you know, but super, super crazy. So yeah, there was no bug at all. Everything was working correctly. But yeah, we have to handle raw input correctly. So the thing now, my question is, okay, so if we want the transition cam, how can we make that notion? Because raw input, since it's totally raw, it's not gonna give us that, you know. And I think, let me see, since we cannot, I mean, yeah, right now the raw input is gonna be, you know, well, I don't have it right now, isn't it? It's gonna be up and down all the time, you know. It's gonna be yeah, press release, press release, press release, press release, press release. It's gonna come on, come down. So yeah, let's think about that. Let's think about how do we want our transitions. Mm, since we have the Win32 process keyboard message, which all that it does is, you know, we check back, you know. If it's different from the one we got, we omit the transition cam, which is good, is that's correct. That will get us a lot of transitions. But at the moment, and we can even try to and if we erase them every frame, imagine that we do a Control L, so is this a state happening on a multi-stage? Uh, let's see, how can we test that? So yeah, they're entering there. And they're coming out from the dispatch message. Alright, I can live with that. So let's see, how can we So what if I okay, what about moving this right here? Should be working the same. So let me see. I mean, probably we don't want this right here, but right. Alright, so now it works. Because we have some input. Okay, so now what if I do this? Okay, now it works. Had transition count 1, attended that 1. So yeah, there we got it. So now I would like to see. This doesn't seem to be toggle. Now it's toggle. It's gonna continue to be toggle. So yeah, there you go. We got it. No bug at all. Just our own mind playing us a bad game. But yeah, actually, that was good to know because, well, at least now we know that the only thing that was busted was to reset the keyboard one, the control one, which is okay. Now we can say it was pressed and it would do one. Alright, so now let's try something more. You know, since we are debugging this thing for today, let's try to implement the input stuff now. Since we play with that, let's do this. So for this, I would like to do, I guess, some kind of, I mean, we have the data backed up by this mmap file that I left on, let me see, is it one, I'm sorry, so we don't need this to be passed right here. Oh, also something that I would like to do before doing something more, let me add a little bit more functionality to this process pending messages, you know. Let me see. So if I say that I want to I don't know if key control keys toggle input control key alt and we have the VK code I don't remember which one it was. Let me go. It was BK4. Can do something like that. I don't know if we process the function keys right now. Which probably we won. Because, well, probably, yeah, we don't know which way. Now I have a question, because does it matter the order in which we do it? Because if we say Alt F4 or F4 Alt, of course, for the user, it's not gonna matter too much. So I guess that mm, yeah, I think this is more proper. And go over running. Okay, they're almost like 24 keys. Oh, that's bizarre. I don't know if we want all of them. Alright, so let's try that. If we press Alt F4, there you go. We end up the process, which is what we want. It's kind of cool because it fades out. But I think, yeah, that's what Windows does. Alright. So now let's try to what else functionality we want from this input stuff. Probably we want to have some way of maximizing the window, I guess. Well, I'm not gonna do that right now. Let's dig a little bit more into the thing that we were doing before. That was the mmap for the keys. So let's see how can we do that. So what I want to do is I want to go back to start recording, and start recording we're gonna need to do another stuff. Yeah, we have to copy the input data, and the input data so that probably means that we want this. If we want the input data, we probably want to do this. I already erased it, but yeah, we probably want to do this. Well, no, that's not necessary, but I just need to grab the input. want to create a file for the input. Let me see. Why don't we start by copying one of these. And what I want to do is to basically write the input directly to the file as it goes. But let me see, there's a caveat there. How do I know when does the input should be well this string length EagleFly input 0. So we basically want to copy this like in a kind of sequential way, I guess. So that means that we want also the input structure, which is in the platform. We want to copy basically, what is the input? Here we go. The mouse and the control key flags. There we go. Yeah, we want to copy this right here. On each state, and we probably want to um, we probably, I mean, in the future right now, I don't know, but since it's a little bit huge, I don't know, it depends on how big we want it to be. But if we want this to be huge, we'll need to do some kind of motivations to compress this a little bit more. You know, and in fact something that I can do, just because uh, probably like we can see that right there, we really went through to process keyword message. We can call this, you know, process input message, and we have these stuffs, you know, and mouse message, and all these are gonna be going through to process mouse input message. This is gonna have some kind of device. like it that way, separated, and probably I want this to be well, I can pass the buttons, the book button state base, sorry, the book button state, first button state, and this is gonna be basically first button state plus key, you know what I mean. There you go. And third first button state and key, and then the same goes way, and this should be, yes, 122 process input, 132 process input message with input mouse buttons, and I want the key, and this down goes past the same thing. That's all she said. This is gonna be the same, but this is gonna be with the keyboard buttons, and all this goes away. There you go. And okay, that's interesting. So probably so this can be a U32, I guess. And that's all she said. That's all she said. When 32 start playing, has this and it has this, and indeed I basically want this to be also right here. It's more here than there, but let me see. Just start by here. So what I want to do here is to basically make some how can I do this? I want to do it before. Let me go back into the well, before doing this transformation, I would like just to go back and say that we have that, and the same goes to this. Say that we have that. Okay, we compile, so let's see what happens. Okay, Alt 4, we close, and I'll have the mouse, but well, we don't even make any transformation for all that. We can start recording, start playing, finish the playing, start recording, start playing, finish it. Okay, perfect. So everything's fine. So now, yeah, let's go back to the place where we left off. There you go. And what I would like to do is to first open a file, open the file in the same place where we have the M map. Here you go. And what I would like to do is to I probably want to do it just in the case that we have to well, we can do it like this, since we're opening here the file. Can open another file there with this is input data for path, generate rig, generate write, file should read probably, create always, file attributes normal 0, and this is gonna be for the file input data file handle, and J we have to create it, we open it. It's not gonna have anything at all, but we're gonna do that basically here. We don't need to do anything right there, and we probably want this to be in the Win32 state so we can use it. And I wanna move this onto the what do we have? Here you go. Here's the Win32 state. Alright, because this handle we're gonna need it right here. So let me go back here, and I wanna write to this file, we wanna write to this file. We can even try to do it right there and have some kind of motioning here, like internal void. It's Win32 try to write input to write input recording, I guess. So basically this is now here, and we can do that, something like that, and we can have the Win32 state being passed right here, and here is gonna be, well, this we can do it, I guess, here, and we're gonna get the file handle, and then every time we get an input we're gonna copy it back, you know. So we wanna write the file, and we wanna write the file. I don't remember what write file does, but let me if Win32 state input data file handle, we're gonna write the file to this handle. Well, and we want to do it basically as this thing, and we want to do this like this with the debug input, and with the number of bytes to write, we probably want to say something like this. Well, something like this. So that's now if that, and then it's written, this is 0. let me see, we can return it or we can just copy it. I don't know how much important it is for us to write each one. I don't know, probably it's not such important. I mean, if we don't write it, well, probably, yeah, we can return something like this. You know, and basically we can have another one here, read input recorded. Yeah, right, input record, read input record, and I want this be this, and uh, and I can do something like so yeah, we're gonna get the input, and if I do remember, this is the important part, I want to see where the pointer or the read pointer or the write pointer gets into, which I think it gets until the last part, so every time it's gonna write at the end of the file, which is what we want. Okay, the file pointer gets updated before Wi-Fi returns. Okay, probably that's what I want. That's what we meant. And for read file, I can go directly to it. Okay, so yeah, it's basically the same. So yeah, that's what we want. So let me go, copy this, and we want basically um, basically this, just the same. In fact, I guess I can do this, you know. I don't know if we want to create it every time. I mean, because we could have several input files, I guess. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Probably once, okay, but and every time we will write to the same file, and the same file will be read every time. I guess we can do. I mean, we can do something smarter later when we can have this kind of macros happening. If we want something fancier, but for now, yeah, I can put a to do here. So instead of having this to be created, you can say something like this and keep it in the place where we left it. Is in the mmap. There you go. And this is okay. is all this gonna be set to 0. We just need to, yeah, the handles. I guess, I mean, just for being certain, I want to do this. And yeah. Is there a bit file? No. Let's implement this. Where should I put it? I don't know. Probably here. Alright, so we know this, we don't need that, and all we need to do now is to grab the handle and say something like mm, 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 mm. Is there a way to erase the whole data out of a file? Or probably not. Yeah, probably want to delete it because changing the file pointer to the base we have some kind of problems, I guess, unless we have some kind of fancy file where it's a yeah. could try to use this. I know it can probably be dangerous. So yeah, we probably want to do something smarter here. But we can use this for at least now. So we can do something like I mean, this is all testing, you know. We can do something like this. There you go. So we will have some craziness going on here. You know what I mean. Let me see. So yeah, I feel it. Oh, and this is a string. Oh my god. Okay, so it seems that we need to that's kind of weird. Why did they use the name instead of the handle? That's bizarre. Can I well, what can you do? The file how is called this thing? How is it called? Input data full path. Well, if I'm gonna use it in that sense, I guess I can do this and do this and do this and do this, and I can do this, and I can do this. I don't know if I should close the handle first and then delete the file. I guess this is more proper, yeah. And yeah, so now I will say that we probably want to okay. Now the thing is that yeah, it's gonna be busted because we still have to do this, but this doesn't. So I should do this right up there. This would be the same, and this should be full path input data full path. And now I guess I need to let me go, where do I leave it? Where is it? Start recording. I would like to have this right here. So something like that. Okay. Okay. So now that we start and create the thing, let's see what where we can do that. Let me how can I do this? I guess, yeah, I guess I'll need to do this first. We can have here I guess we will need to write every input for each frame, which is gonna make it huge, isn't it? But yeah, I think that's what has to happen, because we have to load each one and read each one for the frame. So what we want to say is something like mm, something like more here, right here. Uh, 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 well, I need this to, so you have something like this. So yeah, now if we want to do this loop like code editing, we will need to basically loop. So I will go to I will need to return the file pointer some way. Okay, so I'm assuming that this will reset the file pointer, which I don't know. Well, this will close the file basically, and we will open it back again, and the file pointer should be back on the onto the place where we want it. So I guess it's fine. And yeah, so yeah, that was a little bit crazy, you know. But let's see what happens. What else is missing? We have the loop, we read, we set back, and probably want to do something here for when we start recording. We have all this. Let me put this somewhere else, you know. Right here. And the end plane is gonna close the handle, and it's gonna reset everything, you know. And I will delete the file, and I will create it back on the when you start recording. Then we start like copy memory, and then all that. Yeah, that's for the debug data. For end recording, do we have to do something special? Nope. You just need to say we don't need to close any file. When they start playing, we just need to tell that loop is playing, and that's all. And for end playing, we do the whole thing. Alright, that seems reasonable. And then this is the writing. We basically write, and this doesn't have to care for whether he just writes it, because the way we just said it, we delete the file, we recreate it back, you know, which is fine, I guess, for now. Alright, so let's see what we did here. Alright, let's go here, and I wanna say that I wanna enter this mails logs. In fact, I wanna do this first. Let me see what happens here, because yeah. So first we're gonna get the total storage. We get that, we get that, we get that, we get that, we get that. The struct size is 764 bytes. So imagine it's gonna be 764 bytes per frame. How many? I don't know. Like at 30 frames per second. We have to say that 30 frames per second. I almost forgot, but actually that's important. We have to set the frames per second. Good. I don't know, 30 frames per second times 32 state input struct size times I don't know how many, like I don't know how much, man. Let's say that's gonna be about 1 meg. In 1 minute we're gonna fill 1 meg. Yeah, many, like in, well, I don't know, this is ridiculous, I know, but that would be okay, 82 megs in an hour. Okay, and in a day we'll feel 1, 2, 1 gigabyte of a file in a day. Okay, well, like 2 gigs in a day. That's crazy, isn't it? So yeah, we probably want to take care about that in a certain moment, because we don't want the user just to let recording the whole the whole session without any prompt notice that probably is gonna have some problems, you know. So yeah, we wanna have something there. Let me put something like, well, I'm gonna put right after this. We have the data full path. It's EagleFly input 0.eft. Right, we close the handle for that. Everything gets reset. Alright. Okay, I will start recording. Oh. Okay, I will start recording. There you go, we enter. And got the input, write input record. We got the file. Then we write this only if we can do it. Yes, we do. And we will continue writing each of this. Okay. What happened there? Oh. Okay, that was too slow. Yeah, you have to take care about that also. Now we gonna read the input. And yeah, so we couldn't read the input. We couldn't read the input. So it didn't even read anything at all. Is it because of the same reason that we had before? We're gonna close the handle. We're gonna read it back again. And we're gonna try to read it back with the same buffer, of course. And now we could. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Right? Okay. We're reading. And I wanna go back to the moment that we cannot read some stuff, you know. Hmm. Loop's not playing. Loop is not playing. What happened there? Who changed loop is playing? Uh. Okay. Let me see. The only one that controls that is mPlane, which is only set if we click it back. So that's crazy. So we're well. Let me go back. We're not recording either. We're not playing. Okay, good. I didn't want to see bananas there. And we should have been deleted if I didn't check that, but let me see. So yeah, we deleted and we just have the data one. If I go back and start recording, but man, I mean that's the start recording. So that's crazy. Something changed Luft's plane without my knowledge. What's going on here? Man, that sounds totally stupid. Yeah, I need to find debug. Okay, so now everything's normal. We have the debug input. When I write it, everything's fine. We have, in fact, I should, you know what, let me step back a little bit. I think we created, so I think we should have the input, yeah, so 0 which is fine. I think we can leave it there because we're gonna recreate it back, I guess. You can see what I want to do is to go and set a breakpoint when we create the loop like co-editing, you know. Do you know? I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, something like there, you know. Boom. What was that? Oh yeah, that was the initial port. That's so fine. Right. Control L. Perfect. Loops playing. No, we just start recording. There you go. We assert there's no valid handle. Then we wanna create the file. Input data full path. There you go. There you go. When I rewrite it, everything's good. We treat in writes. We copy it in memory. That's good. It's gonna take a while. There you go. Then it's gonna do bananas. We're gonna continue. You got the file, a proper file handle, and we will try to write to it. We did it, and the path's written what's properly done. Perfect. And now I want to continue, and I want to say oh, I know why. So let me do it now this way. There you go. There you go. Loop is playing. Perfect. And now we want to read about it. We got a valid file handle. Whenever we enter and started, we didn't do anything important, you know, because yeah, it's not something really important. We just copy the things, and we say loops playing equal true. It's recording equal false, and that's all she say, you know. So let's go back where we are, right here, and for certain reason we don't get it, you know. We don't get it. Oh, I know why. Well, that makes sense, yeah. Because we are writing and the file pointer is there. We have to close the file and do that, which is fine because we do it anyway, so that's good. So the first time it's gonna do, yeah, the input data file, yeah, it's gonna do it. I'm gonna close it, we're gonna read it, we got it, and we return it, and there you go. And the loop is playing. It's that I wanna do this magical thing that we got on the breakpoint style. set of things. We got a new data breakpoint with its loop displaying. It's a bool 32. Yeah, we say okay. There you go. And then loop displaying is correct. Now we want to continue. Alright. Look at that. We reached to end plane. How did we reach to end plane? Thank you, Mr. Data Breakpoint. And I want to see the code stack. It seems like if that's kind of crazy, isn't it? I mean, well, okay. Let me do it. Let me do it without any breakpoint at all. Well, and let me disable the. And of course, we probably basically, well, also after, we're probably is doing it because we haven't tested, but just for today because we are reaching the end of the stream. Just to finalize the implementation, finalize it. Where is it? Where is it? It's read. Yeah, I think we can do this something like you can even call this, you know. Enter to start playing. Uh, so if we call Winter to start playing, the thing it's gonna do is like, it's not gonna do anything because we have loops playing. So probably want to do them. And we copy the memory. And then we want to assert our recording. Well, that's good. And that's all. We read the file back from the base pointer and we start playing. Alright? We need that, and we need the debug block. Okay. So let's see what happens. I start recording. I start playing. Start recording. And nothing happens. And nothing happens. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. Probably something's missing. I would like to debug it and see whenever we get to there. Are we copying it correctly? The crazy thing is that they don't tell me the name here. They are crazy. I mean, yeah, of course, this is the address. But I want the name, man. I want the name. Right, so there's something going on there. There's something bananas. But we are almost there. Well, in fact, what we can do, it depends. Since we start playing here and we also start playing there, I don't think there's a bit of a problem, because we know, I mean, we know that this works, you know, because it works. What I'd like to see is if that works, yeah. Um, so let's see. I wanna copy, paste. Oh jeez, are you serious? Copy, paste, we enter, we got it. And in fact, we should take, we should, I mean, we should dig a little bit deeper and have the get the size of the file so we can with the get file attributes, I guess, or something. And we can, well, we're gonna start. There's no a body handle. We're gonna read it. We're gonna get the result. We're gonna start the copy. We got the data. Yeah, we got it. Loop explain is true, so it's true. And we're gonna, this is it. This is the destination, isn't it? Copy memory. Come on. Yeah, that's the destination. So yeah, that's the destination, which is fine because well, it's kind of a little bit janky since it's gonna be a double copy of it, you know. It's like copy this, copy with this size to this destination, and it's gonna do it. It's gonna do it back. It's the result. And what I wanna do, I mean, since, and I wanna, yeah, let me, can I erase all this stuff, you know? There you go. We had all that. And winter Tuesday loop is playing. No, the 32 loop is playing address. Alright. So we continue. We should take it from there. She's fine. She's fine. She's fine. She's fine. She's fine. She's fine. I don't know how many they are, you know. But basically we're reading each input, you know, and every time, and since we don't know which is the file pointer, but I mean we should assume that we get somewhere, you know. And hey, yeah, we had to for a certain reason we got to here with with not even pressing any key. That's hilarious, man. So that means that this should, it's, I mean, is this press? This is press. And I'm not even pressing it. And this is press. This is press. Isn't it? Is this press? So, I mean, more importantly, I think we should check against. I put a breakpoint there. Yeah, I don't care about that. I would like to. Yeah, let's continue. You know, start recording. I know, and okay, I want to not toggle that. Continue, please. We start recording. In fact, let me stop this. Okay. In fact, we have about the deer. The input has 49k. Okay, I should erase this. Delete it. Alright, let's see. I want, well, probably and it only enters okay, so one more time. Now without this breakpoint, I'm gonna also do this, there's no that, just so being sure that nothing happens at all. Create, complete, run it back, there you go. So yeah. Man, this is crazy. Oh, I know why. Oh man, that was lightning, man. It's because we are copying the data buffer, and hey, it happens to have. I mean, it's perfect. It works. We copy the buffer, and we had that input buffer, and it's like, wow. Okay, that's the reason it works. Yeah, cool. All right. So yeah, we found it. Man, this day has been a day full of suspicious bugs, but none of them happened to be a bug. It just happened to be the thing that we have planned to do. But man, sometimes it happens, and sometimes it happens when the things are new, or the things that you implemented there are just like this new conception of the things that can happen. But yeah, so we just need to do something special. We probably want to uh, So it's gonna be, that's the last thing he recorded. So we have to avoid that input, I guess. Or we can do something more like, we can do, let me see, because mm, so yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it that for tomorrow because it's cool. At least we know it works. We know it works because it works. But yeah, I think it's good. I think I'm gonna stop right now. And yeah, I think we can handle this really really cool. Um, Let me put it to do. In fact, something that we could do. Let me see. How can we avoid recording that input? Yeah, we can do many things. And I don't know. We can. Yeah, we need a little bit more time to handle that specifically. We can do specific. We can try to do preventing command controls, I guess. I don't know, and functions. It depends. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, we have to do something special there. But yeah, we're gonna do that on the next stream. For now, we said it's good for today. If you would like to post any questions, please feel free to ask them, and I'll be happy to answer them. Boop, 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 boop. Alright, so there's no questions. Okay, so that means that we have set us finished. Alright, so thank you very much for coming up on this stream. If you would like to post any questions, feel free to ask them rather on YouTube or on Twitch, and I'll be happy to answer them. As for now, the stream has ended, and I will see you all on the next stream.